Back here in Nebraska, Jordy Fromm let the leadoff woman get on base, but mowed down the next three after.
She does it all, Danny. We saw it in the first inning. A few punch-outs for her, up to 74 on the year in just 54 innings. A great, great player, and honestly, probably arguably the best in collegiate softball.
Yeah, Fromm has been one of the best pitchers in the game since she got to Oklahoma 4 years ago. This is her 5th year in the sport. You'll remember 2024 season was cut short due to a lower leg injury sustained in the first game of the season. 1-0 on the way. Misses. Now 2-0 on Burlage.
Danny, I just caught wind of the chant that I'm not sure if it's the fans or the dugout over there, but I love the energy from SDSU. They've just been, I don't know what the opposite of chirping, maybe supporting their teammates well. They have chants for everybody. It sounds awesome.
2-0. Low for ball 3. You know, what's interesting about that leg injury that Jordy Fromm had 2 seasons ago, there has not been any tournaments at that location since then.
There's something in the air.
I think there's something happened because of that. I'm not speculating. I'm just reporting. And a 4-pitch walk. Fromm not super thrilled with that ball 4 call.
And why should she be? It's something she doesn't do quite often, just her 10th walk on the year, Danny.
As we mentioned in the previous game, Nebraska only allowing 27 free passes coming into play today. Jensen only gave up 2 in the first game. As Fromm now makes it 5 straight misses to open the frame.
She doesn't want to lose focus here early. Like we just mentioned, one of the best pitchers in collegiate softball. This isn't the norm for her.
1-0 on the way. Low for ball 2. That's 6 in a row for Jordy Fromm.
I would expect another mound visit here, or excuse me, a mound visit here if Fromm throws another ball, Danny. Maybe 2.
Gentry got the scoring started for South Dakota State in the first game. She waves and misses at a 67-mile-an-hour heater.
Oh, the kids are going to love that one. But Danny, I never understood the swing. If a pitcher is throwing a bunch of balls, you just let them dig their hole for themselves. That swing is a little ill-advised timing.
2-1 is inside for ball 3. But consider this, with a player like Gentry, Abby Gentry, a Summit League Player of the Year a season ago, one of the constants in the program, and now in her junior season, you kind of let a player of that caliber try and work it through also on her own with some different guidelines, if you will, as she fouls this one back to the screen, making it 3-2.
You know, that's a great point, Danny. Looking down at our stats that we have, she had 17 more walks than she had strikeouts last season. That is incredibly remarkable. It's remarkable to finish the season with more walks than strikeouts, but to have 17 more is very impressive.
Crazy number.
Absolutely.
It's now 3-2 on Abby Gentry. Waves and misses for strike 3. That's number 4 for Jordy Fromm. All of her outs have come via the strikeout.
That's not something Abby Gentry does too often, like we just mentioned, but it is something that Jordy Fromm does. And when Iron is playing Iron, well, I don't know who's going to win. Iron's going to win.
Olivia Bolin will come up now. Waves and misses for strike 1. Standing on first base is Burlage. Not much of a runner.
Well, Bolin went 0 for 2 in that first game, Danny, but I'm sure she's not pleased to be seeing who's in the circle.
I can't imagine anyone is, except for, you know, the players wearing the same uniform.
Rhonda Ravel and company.
Well, yeah,
exactly.
that too. Fromm misses, making it 1-1. Fromm's last time out was against Okie State on Saturday. Went 3 innings, 49 pitches. The next one in there floats for a called strike at 58.
Oh, how about that from Jordy Fromm? A little razzle-dazzle. That was a nice pitch.
Now the 1-2 from Fromm. Rocks and deals. Leaves it high. Fromm's last start prior to that was also against Oklahoma State, but it came 2 days earlier. That was the game that Nebraska lost in 11 innings. It also featured that spectacular Hannah Core catch. Fromm leaves it upstairs. Jordy was dealt a no decision in that one.
Games like that are always tough. You know, you pitch well and then you end up taking, oh, I was going to say taking an L, but it's almost like an L in your brain because your team lost. But, I mean, you also don't get a win.
3 balls and 2 strikes on Bolin. Waves and misses for strike 3. That's 5 strikeouts for Jordy Fromm.
And how about that? Another off-speed pitch, this time a little lower as we see the replay there. That one, no chance at all for Bolin. And strikeout number 5 today for Jordy.
That'll get Emma Christensen to the plate. Pitch count for Fromm is rising as first pitch is inside at 70 miles an hour. A wave and a miss.
Danny, I'm starting to count the amount of swing and misses that we've seen from Jordy, from, I guess.
Jordy Fromm pitching the ball.
Right, she's causing them, so might as well, but it's impressive.
Christensen went 2 for 3 in the first game as Fromm misses down low. Scored a run and struck out as well as Alexis Jensen set a new career high with 13 strikeouts. Also pitched her first full complete game. As Nebraska took down South Dakota State 9-4. Bouncing ball foul.
Something to note, Danny, is that the wind was flying earlier in the first game. About, 15 minutes before first pitch, it died down just a little bit. And, of course, as I'm about to say, it died down completely. It picks right back up. How can you not love Nebraska weather, huh?
Wind currently blowing into the southeast at about 11 miles an hour. First pitch of game 1, it was up to 18. Wave and a miss. 6 strikeouts for Jordy Fromm to start out this game. We head to the bottom of the second as Jordy Fromm making quick work of the Jackrabbits. No score. You're watching college softball on Big Ten Plus. Back here in Lincoln as we're getting ready to start the bottom of the second. No score between Nebraska and South Dakota State. Nightcap of a doubleheader today. Nebraska took the first game 9-4. A lot of home runs in that one. We saw 2 from each side, and just about all of them were wind-aided. We'll see if that's the case at all again today. Ava Kuzak will dig in to lead off the bottom of the second. She went 2 for 3 in the first game with a couple RBIs.
Danny, she's had a decently slow start to the year.
Ground ball through Veek's glove. Went down on it a little too slowly. And a leadoff single for Ava Kuzak, her 3rd hit today.
And how about that? I was about to say, the first game was a sign that the tide was turning for her. And it seems to be continuing here into this second game and hopefully for the rest of the season, as it looks like the ball just slid under the glove of Veek there at short, but I'm sure Kuzak will not care.
Casey Hoffman will dig in now. Had an 0 in the first game. Mangulis will step to the rubber. Leaves one outside. Kuzak on first. And Hoffman trying to move her around. Lifts this one out to deep right, back at the wall, and it's off the building. 2-run homer for Casey Hoffman, and the Huskers strike first.
How about that swing from Casey Hoffman, Danny? A quiet first game in this doubleheader, but a little more pop there. I gotta say, that looked like a no-doubter off the bat, and halfway up that brick wall in right field. We'll take another look at the replay. Down in the zone, she dug it out, and no chance at all, maybe even more than halfway up that brick wall in right field.
Casey Hoffman has a really sweet swing, easy power. She doesn't have to put a lot of effort to make the ball go a long way. And the Huskers lead 2-0. Hannah Kaur will come in now.
She had 7 homers last year, Danny, and a great OPS, great average. She had great stats last year, you know, and just taking a little more time this year to kick in. But we might be seeing the start of something for Casey Hoffman this year.
Hannah Kaur's also been off to a bit of a slow start. And Christina McSweeney is going to make a visit to go see her batter pitcher. Noticing a little something a little off after that home run. Oh, look. We've seen that guy before. We saw him last game.
We know that guy.
He's trying to get the crowd hyped up. He usually gets the attention of most of the Nebraska dugout.
Well, a quick little interesting tidbit about Christina McSweeney. Had one of the youngest rosters last year and finished 29 and 26. Really impressive for the 4th-year coach, or excuse me, 14th year, I believe, actually, overall her 4th year at San Diego, South Dakota State. I say
We're
San
not
Diego.
in California. That one is high. For context, Mr. Collin over here, he's from the West Coast, so he sees SDSU and he immediately thinks the Aztecs. So,
Well, I mean, SDSU, yeah.
we're trying to reprogram his brain.
It's not working so far, Danny. We got some work to do there.
Well, SDSU's been in Lincoln a lot this week, as the Jacks were here to play Nebraska baseball yesterday. The Huskers pulled out a 5-4 win in that one. Softball is here today. And then a spring exhibition match between Nebraska and South Dakota State women's soccer on Saturday. As Kaur takes that one for strike one, making the count 3-1. So if you really don't know what SDSU means in the Midwest by the end of the week, that's a little troubling, I must admit.
Listen, Danny, lived here for almost 7 months now. I'm learning the ways of the Midwest as Kaur's going to head down to first, but
we'll get there.
We'll get there, exactly. It's a process like everything else.
So Kaur will take the trip, and Bella Bacon will dig in now. Playing time has been a little bit more limited, with Jordy Fromm starting a little bit less. And Jordy Fromm playing in every game. You want that bat in the lineup, as Bacon has taken on a little bit more of a reserve role. And she gets hit by the pitch. She knew it right away, got her in the elbow guard. She'll take a trip down to first base.
Well, if you have those guards on, it's exactly where you want it to hit you, Danny. Free base, not going to complain about that. And now 2 on for Rhonda Ravel and her team. A lot going on with Lauren Kamenzen stepping up to the plate, having a fantastic year so far. I'm interested to see if she can capitalize.
Kamenzen hitting .321 coming into today. Going 0 for 2 in the first game. Mangulis deals, and it's in there for a called strike.
Maddie Mangulis' last outing also came against Oklahoma State. I guess our
Everyone
two
plays
pitchers
Oklahoma
today.
State.
Yeah, we just love Oklahoma State here tonight. She did get the L in at 5 1/3, gave up 8 earned, and walked 6 batters.
Well, both Nebraska and South Dakota State were down in the state of Oklahoma, playing Tulsa, Oklahoma, and Oklahoma State. Nebraska primarily playing the Cowgirls, but for I almost did it too. You look at what you did. South Dakota State. They played Tulsa twice, and Southeastern Missouri. That's a ground ball. Looking for two. Bacon is out at second, and Camenzind is safe at first. Collins got me all flustered now.
Oh, what a play from San Diego State there.
I think I got to kick him out. So we got one out now. And Fromm will dig in with the runners at the corners.
This is exactly the hitter you want up in this situation, Danny.
She's looking to hit a ball to San Diego.
I hope she, yeah. I hope she is.
Fromm gets hit in the foot. That one didn't feel good. Coors going to head back to third as she was running on the squeeze.
There was a slight moment of confusion. I think home plate umpire.
That was Dirk Sorensen.
Dirk Sorensen, he thought there for a second maybe Fromm left the bunt out too long and was thinking about calling it a strike, but in the end she heads down to first, and now the bases are juiced, Danny.
Okay. I don't know if you guys heard that too, but someone just did a Buc-ee's call underneath us.
Well, there is one coming to Nebraska, Danny.
There is a Buc-ee's coming. Sammy Bland takes strike one with the bases full. She swings and misses. There's some emphatic fans sitting underneath us here at the Bowling Stadium press box, and they're jovial. Let's put it that way.
I'd rather have it no other way.
Mangulis is jovial right now, being up 0-2 on Bland. Tries to bite the outside corner, but can't now. 1-2.
Well, the Buc-ee's coming whenever it does. It got here in the stands before the location got put down in Lincoln, Danny.
1-2 on the way. That one nearly hit Bland also.
Mangulis seems to be having some control issues. We mentioned it before the broadcast. It is one of her deficiencies. 25 walks so far this year. Well, actually, you can add the one on today, so 26 now for her.
Bouncing ball. Veek fields over to second for one. To first, not in time. Run scores. That's Hannah Koor. Jordy Fromm is retired at second. Nebraska's got first and third. They tack on another run. It's 3-0.
Well, nearly the worst case scenario for the Huskers, but a nice hustle play there from Bland over at first now, and it sees the Huskers score a run. If you're Mangulis, I think you take that, Danny, because only 3-0, and if you get out of it here, you still have a lot to play for.
Camenzind shows bunt, and Bland is just going to waltz on down to second.
I think she was trying to draw the throw, Danny.
Definitely was trying to draw a throw.
Get into the pickle, so
that's a little risky with 2 outs, though.
I know, but I like the strategy. Rhonda Revelle, I mean, we've seen it in all 34 seasons. Maybe not you and I, but
I've been alive for only 21 of them, and you know, I was not aware of Nebraska's softball until I was probably 17 years old.
Oh my!
So there's that.
The aggressive approach showing itself once again from Rhonda Revelle.
1-1 to Camenzind is down in the dirt now, 2-1. I also did not know about South Dakota State softball until I was 19 years old.
Wow.
So.
You mean San Diego State softball?
I'm going to let that one hang. Camenzind swings and misses. I'm not going to unhear it now.
Oh, the look I got from Danny.
It was bad.
Oh, my goodness.
It was real bad.
Having fun up here in the booth. Having a grand old time.
2-2 to Camenzind. Lines this one into left center field. That'll get down for a hit. 1 run is in. 2 runs are in. Play at second isn't there. Hannah Camenzind. 2 RBI double. Makes it 5-0.
Oh, the crowd loving that one. And like us up here in the booth, Danny, Hannah Camenzind is having fun down there on the field. A nice line drive approach to the opposite field. That's never going to do you wrong. She glides into second base with ease. A couple of runners score. And now
they're having a grand old time.
There you go. The fielder's choice on that the previous play comes back to bite the Jacks.
South Dakota State trailing 5-0 now as this ball is roped foul. South Dakota State trying to end a 6-game losing streak that started down in Oklahoma as we have someone down in the bullpen. Looks like Haley Herman. A little hard to tell from that angle. We'll try and get you a number here soon. And Farrell takes this one inside but for a called strike.
I like the sell attempt there from Farrell, but that was a strike all the way. Danny, another thing that Samantha Bland, she was the one who ended up beating the throw out to lead to a couple of Husker runs. So
that's a line drive, scalded and gloved. Throw to first is in time. Bria Riebel saves another run from scoring, but Nebraska tacks 5 onto the board. Casey Hoffman knocks one off the Gordon Training Complex, and Hannah Kamenzen ropes 2 more runs home. We head to the 3rd inning. Nebraska leads 5-0 here on Big Ten Plus.